to be with you today, but I did want to make a video about your personal narrative, which is your first essay. Your lab that assignment that you'll be doing this week requires you to understand this very important essay. Remember that essays make up 40% of your grade, so it's really important that you pay attention and listen to this video all the way through so that you can feel comfortable and confident about what you're writing. So a personal narrative is an essay that you write using your own life experiences. The more specific you can be, the better. You're going to be following the claim evidence analysis framework for each of your body paragraphs, and the evidence that goes in each paragraph is going to be made up of specific examples that you can provide. So here are the essay topics for you to choose from. You can describe a recent excellent or terrible day in your life, describe your best or worst childhood experience, describe your favorite hobby or activity, discuss the best or worst job or chore you've encountered in your life, describe a behavior you regret, describe 3 or 4 bucket list items you want to achieve in your life, describe your family's diet as you were growing up, or describe 3 characteristics you have inherited from a parent or other influential adult in your life. If you'll notice from all of these examples, everything is about you. So you're going to have to be, in your pre-writing, you're going to be doing some thinking about you to come up with the evidence for each of your body paragraphs. So this is what I require. Your essay has to have an introduction, and this introduction has to have a hook and a thesis statement. The thesis statement must have 3 reasons that drive the structure of the paper. Each of your body paragraphs will be structured as an argument, as you've learned, with a claim or point, evidence, also known as support, and analysis. A conclusion will also be part of your paper that will extend the information. It's going to refer back to the hook that you mentioned, and it will have a final clincher sentence that repeats or reflects words from your title. The structure of your essay. Now this is very important. This is where many students go off track because they end up rambling. And if you follow this structure, you will avoid the ramblingitis that often inflicts students whenever they try to write essays. Your thesis statement will have 3 reasons or categories. Each of those reasons will then be the claim for its own body paragraph argument. The structure of your paper should exactly match the structure of the thesis statement. I'll show you an example here in a minute. Here we go. This is an example, a visual example of the structure of your essay. You'll see in the first box, there's an introduction with a hook, background information, and thesis statement. And the sample thesis statement here is my best or worst X included A, B, and C. Here's the thesis statement for that. My worst day of travel included an 8-hour delay, lost luggage, and a flat tire on the rental car. Do you see how there are 3 specific things that contributed to my worst day of travel? You're going to do the same thing. There will be 3 contributing factors to your best or worst, whatever it is that you choose to write about. Then the first thing you mention in your thesis statement is going to be the claim of your first body paragraph, as you can see in the yellow here. Claim, my worst day of travel began with an 8-hour flight delay. Notice above the thesis statement, the very first category is an 8-hour delay. Okay? Then everything in that body paragraph A is going to be about the flight delay, how it made me feel, how it occurred, what the people around me might have been doing, what caused the delay. All of those things are going to go in paragraph A. I'm not going to stray and talk about how I'm scared of airplanes. I'm not going to talk about that. Everything in body paragraph A has to be related to the claim, which in this example would be about the 8-hour flight delay. Then the second body paragraph, as you can see highlighted in green, is the second category of the thesis statement, which is lost luggage. So the example claim there would be the worst day of travel continued getting worse when my luggage was lost. So everything in that paragraph is going to be about the lost luggage. It's not going to be about anything else. All of the support, all of the analysis, everything in body paragraph B is going to go with the second leg or reason of the thesis statement. And then body paragraph C, same thing. It's going to be about the flat tire because that's the third thing in the thesis statement. To crown the already awful travel day, when we left the airport, my rental car's tire blew out. So then everything in that paragraph is going to be about how the tire blew out and how I dealt with that and all of those associated things. I'm not going to stray and go off into some random tangent. I'm going to be very controlled about what I put in each paragraph. Then the conclusion is going to discuss the implications of what other things I learned, perhaps, or maybe the most important thing, or the so what of the essay. In this case, when traveling woes strike, sometimes the only thing you can do is laugh. So that would kind of be the implication of that particular example. So you can see your structure. Each of these blue boxes represents a paragraph. So you see you're going to have 5 paragraphs in this essay. All right, let's talk a little bit more about your introduction. You're going to have a hook that grabs the audience's attention or provides background information. A hook may be a quote, it could be an interesting fact, it could be a question, a short illustration. Later, before you write essay 1, I will go over some slides with you on introductions and conclusions that will give you lots of ideas. But the last sentence of the introduction is your thesis statement, okay? Not the first sentence of the introduction, but the last. Conclusions and titles. The conclusion of your essay is going to discuss the so what, and it's going to mention your hook again. It tells your reader what he should do now that he's read your essay. Perhaps it focuses on the most important point. It ends with a mic drop clincher sentence. And then make sure that you write a title. I cannot tell you how many students turn in a paper without a title. You have to have a title. And what I want you to do is make your title repeat words that were in your clincher sentence. That's a stylistic technique that makes your essay more cohesive. Okay, so that is essay 1. And now for your activity. There is a sample essay for you to read. And in this essay, you're going to identify the hook. What was used in that introduction to grab the audience's attention? You're going to identify the thesis statement. You're going to identify the claim, evidence, and analysis for each of the body paragraphs. And you're going to find the clincher statement in the conclusion. So that is the activity that you're going to do with this and on the sample essay.